Hi everyone, today is Monday and as usual Mondays I'm here with a video meant to help you set up your week. As usual, the first thing that you've got to do is open your planner and get acquainted with what you have to do and when you have to do it. If you check the activities here, you'll see that the main activities of the week are the last partial test, which is a test on MLA as I had announced before, and the portfolio. For any of these activities you will have major troubles because for both you have been working, preparing yourself for. The MLA test in week 3 we had plenty of exercises where we practiced MLA. We had a forum. I gave you a couple of resources including that second participation forum, and everything is included in those resources that I sent you back then after when the third week was over. But if you want to do some sort of practice, I recommend that you check the exercises that are online on MLA and review your answers and see the feedback that I give you, because everything that is in the test on Friday, we have done it before, so there is nothing new, there is nothing to worry about. Most of you have given me plenty of evidence that you can handle MLA correctly. It's going to be about like multiple choice questions with examples very similar to the ones you practiced with in week 3. So there is nothing new here. In terms of the portfolio, I have been discussing the portfolio in the previous video conferences, and you may want to consider that you have to submit the portfolio before the 11th, 23:55, which is Friday, and this coming Friday, and also that the portfolio should include basically samples of your writing that you have done all through the course. I will talk about the portfolio prompt in a few minutes, but before I need to make an announcement. It is in connection to the 4th writing assignment. I'm grading already your last essay, and many of you have received the graded essay, and you don't have to send them back to me this time. If you want to make corrections, you can include the corrections directly into the portfolio. Since some of you have already received the last essay graded, and some of you will receive it today, tomorrow, and even until Wednesday, the latest on Wednesday at noon, the ones that received the essay, the last essay graded and with my comments and my corrections back on Wednesday, those students will have an additional day for portfolio submission. The rest, the ones that are receiving already, that have received already the essay, and the ones that will be receiving it today and tomorrow, the closing date for submissions is Friday, and there won't be a change in schedule. Just the ones that will receive it on Wednesday. It all depends how fast I go grading the essays. Keep in mind that you are 75, and I need to read all those essays carefully. As usual, you should go to your contents and check what I am including in the content section. And here this week you have the planner, and you have the portfolio prompt, which is the set of instructions that I prepare for you to guide your work on the portfolio. You have one sample. One student requested a sample, and since I had spoken with this student, he authorized me to use her work as an example for you. So here you have one sample from the summer, and you have a couple of individual samples by students, a polished writing sample, pre-writing sample, and annotated critical reading sample. So all these samples are meant to help you see what other students have done before. The first sample is a portfolio, and here you have the written by one student in summer, as I said. She gave a name to the portfolio, the path through rhetorical writing, and she has all the samples carefully collected here. On the first page, a table of contents with a listing of the different samples and where they could be found. The reflective piece, the forward to writing sample 1, the writing sample 1, the forward to writing sample 2, 3, and the pre-writing and annotated critical reading sample. If you check the reflective piece, I like this one. It shows that the student has done a very careful job in the course, and a meaningful job in the course, and it shows great sense of purpose. She begins with a quote by Kafka, and the quote obviously relates to the writing process somehow. Kafka was a famous writer, and he was famous for the kind of persistence in writing. He was famous for going over and over and over again on his writing and being sort of neurotic somehow, even though he gave the impression to his friends that he did all his writing in one sitting, but that is really a persona, a literary persona that he created. Actually, Kafka was a very meticulous writer, and she used Kafka as an example. And to begin her reflection, I suggest in the prompt that your reflective piece should be 1 or 2 page long reflection. I wasn't specific about the word count. I just want you to be meaningful. I want your reflection to be coherent, to follow the sequence, and I'm asking you to think about your performance in my class and go from global to specific. I gave you a couple of questions for you to think about when writing this last piece. And one last word of advice in regard to the reflective piece. This is just like your letter to the world. This is going to be read probably by other composition and rhetoric professors from the university. So try to be to make the reflection a comprehensive one, including everything, but with capacity of synthesis somehow. If you read this personal reflection, this is very interesting, and you have the questions already for the personal reflection, the reflective piece in the portfolio prompt. These are examples of the forward to the writing samples, and what I want you to do here is to tell me a little bit about the process that you followed from pre-writing the essay, the first time you submitted the final draft, then the corrections you received, if you made the corrections. And so I want you to introduce to the reader the process that you followed in order to complete those specific assignments that you are showing as samples in your portfolio. You also have one example of writing sample 1. He chose her summary, and I want you to use here, if you check over here, the personal information block over here. I want you to include the personal information, because this is going to be like an indication that you submitted the paper with all that it required personal information, all the information facts that you got to include, and this is just one example of a writing sample. Finally, she included other samples, her pre-writing samples and the annotated critical reading samples. I'm showing you here the samples, but I'm sure you already know what pre-writing and annotated critical reading is all about. As I told you once at some point in the course, pre-writing and annotated critical readings are dirt jobs. In these jobs, it's the kind of work that you do with coffee stains and fingerprints and your marks on the paper that indicate somehow that you have been putting some effort, and the effort shows in the essays that you eventually submitted. So this is basically what you have to do with the portfolio. And one more time, I'm reminding you that you have the prompt in your contents, and in the prompt you have a clear explanation of what my expectations are. As previously, I'd like to end this video with a reminder that in case that you need some help, in case that you need to get in contact with me, don't hesitate to send me an email. Thank you, and keep doing the same work you've done so far.